Hey guys, this is Tony Mitra again, and I am going live with a different Android phone, which allows me to go horizontal. The one I mostly use somehow uses only vertical orientation, but this one this is an old one, allows horizontal. So I'm trying it out. I like horizontal more in general. Anyway, so today is 10th of July 2020 and it's 6:38 in the morning, pretty early. I don't expect too many people to be watching me, but this is an experiment, so it's okay. And I wanted to talk today not so much about the unmasking march, which is planned on the 19th. I had talked about it earlier. Today I want to talk preliminarily about the tax revolt. And here's the thing. I have thought a lot, and I thought tax revolt is perhaps the only way people who understand the government is no more governing us and representing us. It is trying to rule over us in favor of an international faceless group of overlords. Only way to fight back where people have some leverage is the tax. How to fight back at it is a good question. It needs brainstorming. Refusing to pay tax in general is one method, but there are many variations. There is provincial tax, there is federal tax, and there is municipal tax. So which government should we target first? How does one revolt on the tax? Is it in our hands and not in our hands? And all these questions. And as a result, I had suggested that we start on the municipality first, but it's not that everyone has to follow me. I didn't actually need or wish to have a following. I didn't intend to lead a group, so to speak. I just wanted to do my own thing by revolting, and I often share it so that others can perhaps be influenced and do the same thing. I know one person revolting on tax doesn't make too much of a difference to whichever level of government you are protesting. But if many do, that becomes a potent force. You know the famous slogan of the American Revolution: no representation, no taxation without representation. So in other words, you cannot tax us if you do not let us have a say in how the government will function and how the tax money is to be used. So that is the basic principle, that you cannot tax us and then rule over us and basically take our liberty away and still tax us. You cannot do that. If you tax us, then you have to let us have a say in the government's activity. So I believed municipality to be the most vulnerable, and that is why I wrote the letter to the municipality. I did not send it off because I was told that it has mass appeal. There are some notifications coming. I am not very sure how this thing works, but anyhow, I pull this camera closer so I can read what's showing up on the screen. So essentially, this is a preliminary trial of a live video. I have about 20 people that have shown interest in the tax revolt brainstorming. I'm thinking of holding some Zoom meetings this evening and also probably tomorrow. This evening means Friday, and probably tomorrow, which is Saturday, and 20 people. I don't know if I can handle at the same time, but we shall try. I have a Zoom professional account, and I have these people's email address in a list, and I shall be sending out the details that I'm thinking of holding one Zoom meeting this evening. Maybe some of them, those who are free, can come, and we can air out the idea, and then another one tomorrow, Saturday, maybe more people will come. I'm hoping somebody else will conduct the Zoom meeting. And here are a few things. I don't really intend to be a leader of this movement or a creator of a special group. There are too many groups already in this protest business. Too many groups and too few followers. And the same group, same person, same pool of people are in so many groups. I have been invited to some 20, 25 groups, and I can't keep track of them. I cannot do justice to so many of them, So I don't want to make another faction and lead another group within a group or something. It's not about me. It's about Canada. It's about our freedom and so on. But I don't know how this can work out. I hope somebody else will take the lead when it comes to informing others and holding a meeting, brainstorming in their locality, in their province, if it is too far away from here. The letters that go out to the municipalities don't have to be identical. It's not that, tax revolt is a general idea. Somebody can write revolting on certain kind of taxes, some others can revolt on certain other kind of taxes. The language can be harsh or mild. It can be partial tax revolt. One can write that I don't intend to not pay the tax, but I intend to pay only 80% of the tax because, economy is hurting and you have to cut your costs. Everybody has to cut our costs. We are all hurting. So therefore you have to charge us less tax and then manage to make do with it. The entire planet is hurting. So that's also another way. Basically for municipalities and governments to know that you are not willing to pay tax unless they work for you. And what is it that they work for? Basically, I had written that municipalities should defy an unjust order of locking down, social distancing, and mask wearing. Defy the government order, the provincial order and the federal order. Why? Because these orders are based on hearsay from third party. Just listen carefully. This is supposed to be a sovereign country. Canada is supposed to be a sovereign nation. But what is happening now is that World Health Organization, which is not part of Canada, which is not elected by us, it has got people who are appointed, not elected, and least of all not by Canadians. Those guys have passed a diktat that there is a pandemic and you must do this or that. And Canada is ruining itself, its sovereignty, its freedom, its economy, everything based on that. All we want our municipalities to do is not obey such un-Canadian, unverifiable, non-elected people's verdicts, but do an in-house independent investigation. That is Canadian, that is transparent, that is unbiased, that takes into account experts' comments from all sides, those who think that economic lockdown is necessary and those who think that it is not necessary. There are lots of economists and doctors and scientists that think whatever we are doing is not necessary. But those experts are not getting airtime. Those experts are being shunted out of the TV and the mainstream media. So I want the municipalities to defy an order coming down from outside of Canada and insist that the higher governments, provincial or federal, do this public, accessible, verifiable, transparent, independent, honest, unbiased assessment of just how dangerous they can they prove that COVID-19 to be, whether COVID-19 is at all anything more than a variant of a seasonal flu, and whether this extreme measures is necessary at all or not. Where is the scientific proof that wearing a mask for a healthy person, denying him full access to clean air and oxygen, is helpful for himself or anybody else? Somebody who is healthy, who is not showing symptoms. This whole thing is asymptomatic. There's so much of bullshit going around that it is mind-boggling. Let them prove independently, openly, have an investigation and prove. And this investigation must not be one-sided. They must call and give equal exposure to those scientists and microbiologists and virologists and vaccine experts and doctors and so on, and nurses and medical practitioners that object to what is going on. Yeah. Listen to all of them, see the results, how many people are dying, how many people are absolutely, without a question, died from COVID-19 and not some bullshit. There needs to be an investigation of how doctors have been, hospitals have been or have not been forced, influenced, coerced to inflate the death rate of COVID by pulling in people who had comorbidity, who would have died anyway from something, we probably died for something else, and they have been marked as died because of COVID. These things have to be brought out into the open. As long as governments are unwilling to do so, the municipalities to reject this unjust order and cripple the economy and lifestyle and psychology and socio-economic fabric of the people inside the town. This is my basic principle, but maybe my idea, but maybe somebody has a better idea. I'm willing to discuss it. And people can either write the same kind of letter, or all can write different kind of letters. Some can go harsh on them, saying I'm not paying any tax next year unless you do these things. Some can say I want to sit down and discuss how much we should pay and what we should not pay, how to demand to the provincial government. All these things are possible if people discuss the idea of tax revolt. And if tax revolt is not the best way, there is another way to revolt. And by revolt, I mean using a tool that is in your control, using a leverage that you have. I do not see what other leverage people have other than, voting them out of office, and the elections are not due. And voting records, we have seen that that voting records of Canada is pretty inconclusive, because who do you vote for? This party system is so rotten that whoever you vote for, the guy is already decided to betray you. The entire political class has turned treasonous. Entire political class, and not just in Canada, almost the entire planet has turned treasonous for personal benefit. They have become collaborators, they have become enablers of the dictatorship. So who do you vote? An honest guy, an independent, not listening to party dictate, what chance does he have to win an election? It is so money dependent. So all these things can be discussed. Once people start discussing, it gets noticed by the ruling class, and they notice that their power, which is basically keeping the public paranoid, afraid, confused, hypnotized, controlled by the propaganda, as long as this thing is slipping away, the power slips away. So we need to start something like that. I have seen lots of people who do not like what is going on, but we are sharing information. This guy says this, that guy says that, and share is very good. Sharing is fine, but we need to do something. I know Rocco Ghilardi is taking them to court. Fine, very good. Whether that changes and all, I don't know. So far, no court case as far as I can see, no court case either in Canada or anywhere in the planet has been able to overturn this effort, what is going on now of subverting democracy everywhere. I have not seen one. Maybe Rocco Ghilardi, I wish him all the success, will be able to succeed. I don't know, we shall see. But most important is, apart from Rocco Ghilardi, apart from everybody else that is trying something, we the people also need to join up. And by join up, I don't mean just support Rocco Ghilardi and cheer him on and all that. Of course, you need to do that. But do something on our own so government gets the impression that there is pressure coming from everywhere, and their idea of subverting the nation and turning into a protectorate of some kind of a faceless dictatorship, global dictatorship, is not holding. They need to know that pressure is coming from everywhere. Every single or most of the independent individual citizens are revolting. So my idea was that, and also there are many other people also trying to do something. So, for instance, Canadian Revolution people are camped outside the parliament. They say they won't leave unless Trudeau steps out. That's a fantastic thing. I wish they had, 1 million people there, but there are only, I don't know, maybe 2 dozen or dozen or so. So whether that will help, I don't know. But all these different pressure groups need to create pressure. For me, the tax revolt is a fantastic tool which is available to almost all adult Canadians, almost all the people that don't pay any tax, who has virtually no income and no possession, and needs help. They're like homeless or something. Okay, we need to support them, and they can't, they don't have a leverage, but they still have a vote, so they can support this motion and tell the municipality, do what these guys are saying, or we will support these people, everybody, to not pay their tax, and you to squander that money to rule over us and destroy us. So this is my short rant. This is the first one I made in a horizontal orientation. I don't know how many people are watching. I think no more than 3 or 4, but this is the first effort, and I'm happy with it. I shall try to share it later on, and I'm trying to hold what you may call a Zoom meeting, maybe later today, with these few people who have given me their phone number, their email addresses, wanting to join up for a brainstorming session. I want to hear other people's opinion. I'm willing to send the letter off myself anyway to my municipality, whether it produces any much result or not, whether many people support or not. I intend to do that because I cannot not try. I just cannot not try. So even if I fail, I shall have the satisfaction that I tried instead of not trying. But many people are involved, and I would like to hear their opinion, what they think, and what is the general consensus, how to go about it. If everybody says we should do this also, I'm willing. Any good idea is good enough, and we won't know unless we discuss how to propose this revolt. And tax revolt is an idea that seems to have gained some traction. So today evening I'm having the first Zoom meeting, and probably we'll have another one tomorrow, because we can't hold too many people. I have a Zoom account which can handle, I think, 100 participants, but I don't know how to manage 100 participants. It's almost impossible unless everybody keeps quiet and 1 or 2 people speak, which is not my idea. So those who are interested and listening to this, and if you are not already in the list, and if you want to participate, please do send me an email indication, or send me a message on Facebook with your email and who you are, etc. So I will include you, if you are interested, in the email invitation that goes out for the Zoom meeting. That will go out only by email. That will not go out here. And those who wish to participate can join in the evening at the Zoom meeting, and others can join in also tomorrow. So if any of you are interested, that have not already told me your email, and you want to join the brainstorming on Zoom, you're comfortable with Zoom, you know what Zoom is, then send me an email and I will try to send you an invitation, and then we see what happens. This is Tony Mitra, and this is the 10th of June 2020, the first time I'm making this horizontal going live. And that's it for now. Take care, guys, and I will see you later.